I'm the man now. Nobody ever gave a handout. For the stretch, talking grams loud. Cut them off, get a handout. Bro talk, what's that about?
What's going on, people? You know who it is. It's Tay Wiz reporting live and direct from the Man Cave. For those subscribers out there that is not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that bell. If you're not subscribed to my Twitter page, hit that bird at TAE_WIGGS. And of course, the link to my website is below. Get right into it. 4 games that was on last night, starting with the Boston Celtics going up against the Milwaukee Bucks at Milwaukee. This series officially tied 2-2. And the Milwaukee Bucks can afford to go down 3-1. I had the Milwaukee Bucks winning this series in 6. Right now, they're keeping their faith alive for me because I thought if Boston would have won this series, to me, it would have been more of an upset just because, like I said before, there's no Kyrie Irving. There's no Gordon Hayward, no Marcus Smart. So you missing some of your prime-time players. You missing the defensive man, 2 scores at that. And it's hard. And this team is playing basketball by committee. Who name is being or numbers being called and stepping up to the plate and getting it done. When I'm looking at Jason Tatum with 21 points, that is good. That is good because he's still finding his way. His name is not getting mentioned in that Rookie of the Year class. This guy, ever since Kyrie Irving went down, like I said, he has picked up the pieces. And I'm looking at where Jaylen Brown is making a name for himself. 34 points, 8 rebounds to go along with 3 steals. These guys are the Boston Celtics. Let's be honest about this young team, man. This team right here are grinders, man. You can't say nothing bad about that. This team does everything right. If you do something wrong on the offensive end, this team is going to make you pay on the defensive end. This is like this is the top 5 best defensive teams in the league, and it goes unnoticed. Like they do the small things. They irritate you. They got. I love one thing I like about the Boston Celtics. I love their rotation, but like I said. You missing 3 of your core guys who can't get it done for you due to injuries. It's like who's going to pick up the pieces? Like I said, I got the Milwaukee Bucks win this series in 6. I'm looking at where even though Jaylen Brown had his 34 points going on with 8 rebounds and 3 steals, Al Horford had 13 points, 9 rebounds. I keep saying it, folks. The Boston Celtics would be a whole lot better to me. If Al Horford played under the rim. I mean, I understand that the game and all that stuff has changed and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, one thing that hasn't changed about the game is feeding that big man down low. And I'm looking at some of the mismatches that he having in this series. First of all, Al Horford's what, 6'9", 6'10"? You got to look who's guarding him at times. You got the freak to Greek, too small in the post to bang with Al Horford. You got Thon Maker, who is thin as a pencil, who's definitely in the post. Why are the Celtics not feeding Al Horford in the post? He could definitely put these guys in foul trouble. You know when you a beast in the post, when that defender got to put both his forearms on you to hold some type of ground. Feed Al Horford the ball in the post and put that front court in foul trouble for the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't see that. And the one thing about the Milwaukee Bucks, what they doing to get this victory, Chris Middleton had a good game. I thought he played fantastic. Giannis Antetokounmpo. The one thing I'm going to go back, because I circled this for Chris Middleton, even though he had 23 points, he was 3 for 5 from the three-point line. He is almost, to me, when I think of a Milwaukee Bucks player from the old school time, I think about guys who got the job done, about to educate y'all, who got the job done. One of my favorite old school point guards who I like to look at, Sidney Moncrief. When I go back and look at old film and watch these guys, Sidney Moncrief, you had Magic Johnson said, man, we got to go to Milwaukee in the wintertime and play Sidney Moncrief. And it's cold up in Milwaukee. And one thing Magic said, I was watching this old school tape. Man, you don't want to see Sidney Moncrief. He's going to run you to death. If you're not careful, he's going to drop 40 on this. And I'm looking at this, and when he's saying, I'm looking at what Michael Jordan said about Sidney Moncrief. Hey, Sidney Moncrief gonna bring it. But a number of 6'2", 6'3" point guard giving out buckets. That's homework for you guys out there. Go look up Sidney Moncrief videos on YouTube and look at this stuff, man. This dude is like one of my favorite point guards to watch. Hands down, man. Hands down. Look up Sidney Moncrief, Milwaukee Bucks old school point guard legend, man. Trust and believe me. Sid the Kid was nice with that rock. Going back to the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo with 27.7 rebounds and 5 assists. He had the game-winning tip in. And that's the main thing I'm saying about, if I go back to Al Horford. Al Horford is nowhere to be found in that play. Should have had the tip in. Should have got the rebound. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to roam. He's going to roam the lane. You got to put a body on this guy. You have to. You have to put a body on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Even though he don't have a consistent jumper like a Ben Simmons, if he can find a consistent jumper, this dude could be like almost arguably the best player in the league, hands down, because he can get to the basket at will. He can get to any spot on the floor whenever he wants and whenever he wants. I'm just looking at where it wasn't a body on nobody on him. The clock is running down, and he snuck in there for a tip in. Like I said, now I'm going to go to Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker put out a statement the other day, said, hey, he was mad because he not getting enough minutes, and he felt like he could do more to help his team out, because this is what he wanted to do. He said he lived for this type of moments. What happened? His number is called. He gave you 16 points, 5 rebounds, and he had 2 key steals. He threw the ball away on one play, and I thought, now you can see sometimes why Jabari Parker be on the bench, but he calmed down and the game came to him. And I just like it when I'm seeing, like, when healthy, Jabari Parker is a pit bull. So it's just, before that injury, Jabari Parker was a starter. He goes to the bench now. And you could tell he can live with that. He sacrificed. When you go to the bench, when you come off the bench, you get more touches. It's like, you know what? I'm off the bench. I'm one of the first 2 guys off the bench. And I can do what I want to do. I can freelance. I can get to the basket. I'm going to tell you another reason why the Celtics lost this game, too. Matthew Dellavedova, you know, when he's playing for the Cavaliers, we call him Delly. When they put Matthew Dellavedova in, I'm looking at where they tried to bully Matthew Dellavedova. Matthew Dellavedova wasn't doing nothing but playing hardcore defense. He wasn't out there trying to hurt nobody. As soon as he get in the game, Greg Monroe went to throw an elbow at him. I'm watching Al Horford throwing cheap chicken wing shots at him. You know what? They are still mad at him from previous playoff games and regular season games. Matthew Dellavedova know they got in the game, he can get under their skin. And guess what? Every time they was out there, they tried to run him over. They forgot about the guy they supposed to be guarding. That's why Milwaukee Bucks beat you. You know what? We're gonna put Delly in. Delly gonna have them mad and irritated. And that's what he did. I thought the key to that game to winning, of course they got the key rebound for Giannis Antetokounmpo for the tip in to win the game. But I thought putting Matthew Dellavedova in to see what the defense is gonna react to him on that end. And guess what happened? When him playing defense, the offensive team reacted. They reacted, trying to run these hard picks and screens, doing the chicken wing. Come on, man. Come on now. Matthew ain't worried about y'all. Y'all more worried about him. And guess what? They played right to Milwaukee Bucks' favor. They walked away with the win, victorious. They won 104-102. And I'm looking at where this series is tied. And you're not, like I said, you're not gonna win games when the Boston Celtics bench is scoring 15 points. It ain't gonna happen. Game 5 is Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'm gonna say this is an interesting game right here because everybody got the Raptors winning in 6. I can see that. That's understandable and stuff like that. And this is an intriguing game which I paid attention to. The Raptors and the Wizards. Where do you start at? You had Serge Ibaka, 7 points, 10 rebounds. He's almost the same thing I would say about Al Horford. First and foremost, you don't need a big man that's going to run the floor. That's going to travel outside and shoot threes. See, y'all, hey, are y'all listening to me out there, the basketball heads? The reason I'm saying this because why is Serge Ibaka shooting threes? First of all, let's be honest. The Wizards don't have a big front court. Serge Ibaka and Jonas Valanciunas should be pounding the Wizards inside. Pounding the Wizards inside. That's what I'm trying to say. The big man want to become point guards. Like I said, we got a point guard and a shooting guard for all that. You need to bang inside. There's no reason why you part the starting 5. You getting 7 points and 10 rebounds. If I was the Raptors coach, Dwayne Casey, I am starting Valanciunas. all the tops from here on out. Just because I know he's going to bang, he's going to have that presence. Because not only Serge Ibaka has 7 points, you let Marcin Guitar have another good game. 12 points and 6 rebounds. You know every time he gets something, he's going like this. That's for the hammer. He's the Polish hammer. And Serge Ibaka, that's another reason why they got rid of him in OKC. Because we don't need a guy to shoot threes, especially a power forward / center. We need you inside. That's why a lot of these teams lose games. Because their so-called power forward centers want to shoot threes and there's no one to grab a rebound. Who's ever going to grab a rebound? No one. Except for the other team. DeMar DeRozan had 35 points and 6 rebounds and 6 assists, but he was a minus 12 on the floor. A minus 12. Kyle Lowry, another person. He had his 19 points. He was a minus 10. I'm going to be honest with you. I like John Wall as a point guard. Kyle Lowry cannot guard John Wall. And that's a fact. That's a true factual statement. Looking at this team here, for some reason, the backcourt of the Raptors always have trouble in the playoffs. I'm trying to figure that out. Every year after year, they have trouble in the playoffs. They said that the Raptors get the best scoring bench in the league, the bench mob, that's what they call them. But the real bench mob I know when I was younger and watching was the Sacramento Kings. And that was a bench mob. They not a bench mob, but they get the job done. They're not a bench mob. They don't have no pure snipers like that old school Sacramento Kings had. Now that was a bench mob with Bobby Jackson and Doug Christie and the boys. That was a bench mob. I'm just looking how can this team prepare themselves? They go back home. They got a game Wednesday at 7. How can this team benefit from this loss? What are some of the positive things they can do? We know the positive, they can get to the hole anytime they want to. But when I'm looking at certain players shooting threes on their team, I know I question Serge Ibaka, but DeMar DeRozan, brother, you're not the best three-point shooting player on your squad. Serge Ibaka shoot threes better than you. You try to hit a step-back three. This how I know a lot of these guys play 2K too much. They try to put their 2K moves in a real-life game. DeMar DeRozan, I always say he plays attentive. He's going to get to that basket. But when you got the game where you want it, you got to drive to the hole. DeMar DeRozan might be the best 15 mid shooter in the league. But when he started going away from that and started going inside and started shooting start going outside, started shooting threes, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because it's very seldom that you see him hit a 3 in a game. If he took 5 threes, 9 out of 10, he's going to either go 0 for 5 or 1 for 4. So it's very seldom he's going to hit a 3. It's just, I just like when the Raptors, when they play, they attack the basket. Like I said, their role players came in and did a heck of a job. But when you got the backcourt Kyle Lowry not doing enough, even though he had 19 points and DeMar DeRozan had 35, at the same time, you still want Kyle Lowry just as aggressive as DeMar DeRozan. Because you're not going to win like that. Period. Point blank. Especially when you got Serge Ibaka taking all these threes. I thought Dwayne Casey tonight got out-coached. Because at one point in time, at this game, they had the lead. They got out-coached. John Wall put almost the same identical numbers that he had the other day. John Wall finished the game with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 14 assists, and 3 steals. Those almost the same numbers. The other night, he had 28 points to go along with 14 assists and 5 rebounds. These are almost the same identical numbers. John Wall is beating Kyle Lowry off the dribble every time. John Wall can get anywhere on the floor that he wants. They slowed the pace of the game down a little bit. Unlike what Bradley Real Deal Bill did. 31 points, 5 for 7. I thought at the end, towards the fourth quarter with 4 minutes and 58 seconds left. Let's be honest, that wasn't a foul. Period. He held his ground. DeMar DeRozan tried to step back and shoot the ball. That was a bad call by the referees. We're going to talk about them later, too, once I get to these other games. I just thought it was a bad call all around. They could have kept them playing. But, like I said, people who stepped up and came to the party. Like I said, X Factor, Kelly Oubre Jr., 10 points and 5 rebounds. Going to the hole strong. Man, when you don't understand, going to the hole strong gets everybody involved in the game. It's like, you know what? Kelly Oubre driving to the hole. I ain't get no choice. It was like John Wall started doing it, Bradley Beal started doing it, Tot started doing it. It's almost like an infection. Everybody got to keep doing it. This is what we did. This is what we do. So, if the Wizards want to win, they got to bring that same intensity game 5. You have to. You cannot let up. You got to play with that same morale and character for the next game. Like I said, Otto Porter Jr. played fabulous. Played great. 12.6 rebounds. Played great. This is what you want. This is what you want. Other guys to step up and take the load off the other two guys. Once you got other people hitting for your team, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Raptors go down 98 to 106, which is the Raptors, the Wizards are victorious. That series also tied 2-2. A must-win game for the Spurs. They got that done. That series is 1-3. They're down. Do you think is the Spurs going to win this series? No. The Golden State Warriors got this series. They're going to win this next game. They're going to win at home. Kevin Durant had 34 points, 13 rebounds. Man, KD, man. Ain't nothing you can say about the Slim Reaper. Everybody call him the Durantula, the Slim Reaper. How do you guard someone like that? Go anywhere he wants to on the floor. Can shoot over whoever and whenever and wherever he wants. Man, he's a sniper. He's a sniper. He even called himself a sniper on his Twitter handle. KD is a true sniper. Going to the rack. Shooting threes. He's a coach's nightmare too. You say Steph Curry's a coach's nightmare? Kevin Durant's a coach's nightmare too. Just because how do you game plan for someone that is a 7-footer that can shoot threes and can go inside? How do you game plan for that? That's one question I want to hear from a coach. How do you game plan for a Kevin Durant? And somebody know that? I want to hear that. How do you game plan for someone like that who can make your team that great and make the opposing team vulnerable? Because and realistically, no one can match up with KD in the league height wise. Because you got to think about it. Yeah, if Kevin Durant's 7 feet tall, and the average person that's guarding between 6'7" and 6'9", when you jump and he jump, you got to think about he's 7 feet tall. When he jumping another 2 feet in the air. When you jump, you probably gonna get like a foot off the ground. Man, this dude is amazing, man. That dude is amazing. One stat, like I said, every time I see Draymond Green do something, I'll circle his stats. Like I said, it may not be pretty. And one thing I'm gonna say about Draymond Green, dude had 9 assists. He was 4 for 14 from the field. Who cares? He had 9 points. But the one thing I did like, he know if he can't get a score, he's going to grab rebounds. He had 18 rebounds. 18. Like I said, Draymond Green is the motor of that team. He's the gasoline for that car. You put gas in the car, you start it up, it takes off. That's Draymond Green. Draymond Green is the gas of that to the Golden State Warriors. He can find different ways to get involved in the game. Like I said, it may not be pretty, but it's going to be an ugly game for him stat-wise. He don't care about stats. He just want to win. And you can tell when you look at stuff how to get victories. Even though they came up short tonight, 18 rebounds to stick out a lot because nobody have a body on Draymond Green. Period. I'm looking at Klay Thompson. Terrible shooting night. He was a minus 18 from the floor. 12 points, 4 for 16, 2 for 6 from the three-point line. I guarantee you, he's not going to be that again. Shooters are going to shoot. He's going to be one of them shooters that's going to shoot himself out of the slump. This whole series, this whole series, Klay Thompson been shooting almost close to 70% from the field. That's automatic. Hands down. Like I said, he getting more touches now because Steph is not there. Well, you know when Steph come back, it's going to be hell and hot water to pay because you got all them guys going, they're going to be hard to beat. Like I said, the Spurs are down 3-1. Either the Spurs did win tonight, 103-90. Rudy Gay had a good game to me. 14 points, 7 rebounds. He was way more aggressive, attacking the hole. Marcus Aldridge is 3 from 3 from the three-point line with 10 rebounds and 22 points. Now, if you can get this every night for LaMarcus Aldridge, this is good. But I'm going to circle this right here. Circle this guy, Manu Ginobili. This dude's 40 years old, still going hard. Still the original. Call him the godfather of the Euro step. This dude can get anywhere on the floor he wants you, man. He's a left-handed sniper, man. Ginobili gets the job done. And it's crazy because for them to win games, you looking like who's going to be that guy to step up. Of course it's going to be Ginobili. But you want the other young guns to step up. You got a 40-year-old basketball player still going hard, want to win. That's showing you he's a true champion or Hall of Famer. He's doing whatever it takes to get a victory for his team. And it shows. And it shows that they would get it done to win this game. He was 3 for 5 from the three-point line. This team overall from the three-point line was 15 from 28 from 3. That's 53%. That's a 53% clip. That means for one miss they hit, they come down the court, hit another 3. Nothing you can say about it. This team played fabulous, man. Like I said, you know Popovich lost his wife the other day, and they won that game for Pop, man. That's one thing to say. No Spurs team, and you know they got swept last year, but it's a different team, man. And the stuff they've been going through, the ups and downs, the Kawhi Leonard situation. At the end of the day, this team found some way to win a game. They just can't go out like that, getting swept again. 2 years in a row by the same team. That'd have been a bad look. And this team don't play again until Tuesday, Game 5. That's a 10:30 game. The game I did conclude to was the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Indiana Pacers, and that was a great game. And we're gonna start with the good or the bad. I'm gonna start with the bad first. The bad was Victor Oladipo was 5 for 20. Indiana Pacers fans, 5 for 20. I keep telling people Victor Oladipo was scoring no more than 30 points, like how he did in Game 1. I said the Cavaliers not about to give him 30 because I noticed when I go through certain stats and look at where they have won, Victor Oladipo was scoring 30 points. I said the only way you can beat the Pacers, you got to keep Victor Oladipo under 30. And tonight he had 17 points, 5 for 20. And it's crazy because in all these games, the Pacers has gotten off to slow starts. But I'm still trying to figure out how is this team getting off to a slow start. First of all, the Cavaliers have no rim protector. This team is not pushing the ball to the cup. You got Miles Turner shooting threes. I don't care if he is hitting them. But the crazy thing, you got Domantas Sabonis. Yeah, he took a couple of threes. But at the same time, this is why they lost. Big man shooting threes and missing them. Nobody to rebound it. Every time a big man shoots a three for the Pacers, there's always 3 red jerseys getting a rebound. Either Kevin Love or LeBron. Somebody of that nature is grabbing the rebound. So when you got your big man's falling in love with the three-pointer, and the one play they had towards by the Cavaliers bench to inbounds the ball, the inbounder should have knew better to throw the ball to Miles Turner. Well, I don't care if he did hit 3 threes in a row. They throw the ball to a prolific shooter because the big man gonna get the ball, and the first thing somebody say is 3 seconds left. He gonna shoot the ball, and he missed it badly. Led to a three-pointer for the Cavaliers for Kyle Korver. And I'm looking at Miles Turner. Yes, he had 17 points, but these two people who had a great game was Thaddeus Young with 12 points and 16 rebounds. The reason why the Pacers lost this game, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, I see the game from a different view. Thaddeus Young missed 4 layups. 4. He missed 2 in the first quarter. He missed 1 in the third and 1 in the fourth. Not only did he miss 4 layups, Victor Oladipo missed an easy dunk that came off the back of the rim. So you're looking at plays where this team missed 5 easy baskets. That's a 10-point swing right there. So when you're looking at stuff like that, what can make this team be more aggressive? Like I was telling my one friend, I was talking on the phone. I said, if the Cavaliers want to win, you cannot let Bogdanovich go off again. 38 points, you can't let that happen again, man. Now seeing where he got the ball, they was throwing different looks and different bodies at him to make him uncomfortable. He was uncomfortable. He had 10 points and he was 4 from 13 from the field. He's a shooter. He said one of his goals was to play in the NBA to play against the best. Now he's playing one of the best players in NBA history, which is LeBron James. And when you say you want to play against the best, you gotta bring it every night. You can't half step it. You gotta be ready. And 4 for 13, this is just make a mislead. I keep preaching to myself. This is make a mislead. One day you hot, the next day you can be instant cold. So when I'm looking at Bogdanovic, even though he had 10 points, the person that had a big game for them, to me, was Domantas Sabonis, 19 points and 6 rebounds. Attacking the rim, stepping out shooting threes, hitting 15-footers. We seen the whole Domantas Sabonis repertoire. We see his whole portfolio. So if the Cavaliers want to win games, not only you got to stop a Victor Oladipo, you got to stand Lance Stevens and his antics. Now, you got to stop Victor Oladipo, a Thaddeus Young now since he want to grab rebounds, a Sabonis, and a Bogdanovic. Like I said, Bogdanovic had 38 points. They capped him down under that. And they was negative 18 in that ass part. The negative 28. Sorry. It was negative 28 in that part of the category. Then you kept Victor Oladipo down to 30. He was 5 of 20. I'm going to tell you what it was. Can you imagine the hype in Indiana right now? They up 2-1 on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They probably listen to the radio there, the local radio station in Indiana. Can the Pacers win this game tonight? And can you imagine the radio talk saying, who you got tonight? It went like this. Well, I got the Pacers closing on LeBron. This team doesn't have a rim protector. LeBron James can't do it by himself. The other guys are kind of shaky. Some of that can be true. That he can be shaky. The team is shaky. But at the end of the day, Indiana had more pressure on them because they up 2-1. And you got to close the Cavaliers out. If they were to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, do you think the Cavaliers had enough power to come back to 3-1? No, not a chance. So what the Pacers did, they let the Cavaliers back into this series. The Cavaliers are going to go back home and try to win this game on a Wednesday night. Now you know the Cavaliers not going to lose too many games in their home floor. So what Cavaliers team are you going to see Wednesday night? J.R. Smith, who I thought played stellar. I don't care about what LeBron James did because LeBron James is going to put up them numbers. J.R. Smith is the guy named my circle with my blue ink pen. I said, we got to win this game. I said, hey, J.R. Smith got to step up and play defense on Victor Oladipo. He has to step up and make it uncomfortable, which he did. I thought this was probably one of the best defensive games that J.R. Smith's had so far in this series of the playoffs. Thought he stepped up and played great defense, even though the team, once he had a breather, then the rest of the team played defense on him as a collective unit, which was definitely great. J.R. Smith was 4 from 10 from the three-point line, shot 40%. You can take that with a win. Like I said, 12 points and 5 rebounds. Everybody played a part. Like I said, LeBron James with his 2 blocks, 7 assists, 13 boards, and 32 points. That's LeBron James. He's going to do that every night because he is tied with Michael Jordan now for 130 games with 30-plus points now. So really want to see what he's going to do next. For LeBron James to have to win this game right here Wednesday, he's going to do the same thing. I like how he didn't take no plays off on the defensive end tonight. I seen the other night, he thought he got fouled. He just stood there. I seen where he missed the layup, and he ran straight down court, almost had it steal, and the ball deflected off him out of bounds. Even though we didn't get the ball back, I thought the Cavaliers and LeBron James played great defense down the stretch. They let their composure get in the way with what Lance Stevens was doing. I'm going to talk about that later. Kyle Korver was really huge on the bench. This guy's a 3-point sniper. 4 from 9 from the 3-point line. Get anywhere he wants on the floor. You got to take him out the game. And this team switch a lot on the offensive end. How do you keep someone like that off the glass? Off the floor, running around the perimeter. He's a shooter. One thing a coach will always say, find the shooter. You have to find the shooter. If you can't find the shooter, Kyle Korver had enough room where he can turn around and read the label on the ball. They tell you how much the ball weighed and where it was made at. That's how much space Kyle Korver had last night. Jordan Clarkson, another guy who played good. These are the X Factor guys now. Kyle Korver, Jordan Clarkson, Jeff Green. Jordan Clarkson had 12 points. Hit a deep three. J.R. Smith even hit a deep three from like 65 feet, nothing but net. It's crazy because the other night he missed a shot pretty much almost in that same rim. But the next night he come back and hit the same shot. It's kind of crazy. Excuse me. Then you got Jeff Green, who I thought played great. 8 points, 4 rebounds. Even though it's not enough, he had a key 3 down the stretch. He had key free throws. That's how your name get mentioned on the Tay Witt Show. Doing key stuff, key things to get a positive victory for your team. Kevin Love, 5 points and 11 rebounds, 2 for 10. People are like, oh, Kevin Love played terrible. Oh, he this and that. Let's be honest. Every night you can't score. You got to find different ways to get in the game. The Cavaliers probably wouldn't have won this game if Kevin Love had 11 rebounds. You got to look at that. Yes, he didn't score 18 or 17 points. Yes, I take 5 points. Don't 5 points still led to victory? He had 11 rebounds, which led to a victory. We winning something there. We winning rebounds. So long as he on the glass and can set up screens and get you passes, that's fine. Because every night is not going to be your night. So all the people that play basketball out there, you got to find different ways to get involved in the game. Unlike Lance Stevenson. And the reason I say that one for last, Lance Stevenson do a lot of crazy stuff to get people to get under your skin. Bump into LeBron James. LeBron James get called for a technical foul. They shoot the ball. Lance Stevenson diving on folks. The one part I'm trying to figure out, when Jeff Green caught the ball towards the end of the game, Lance Stevenson reached over him, over his head, people, and grabs the ball, and the ref says foul. We know he said foul. But your instinct say, I'm going to bring the ball down. So Jeff brought the ball down. Lance Stevenson had his hands wrapped around his head and slammed him down by the neck and rolled around. Not once, but twice. And the referees... Now, let's be serious. If any of the Warriors fans will probably agree with me with this one. If that was Draymond Green that would have did that, if you already had a technical foul already picked up in the first half, if you picked up the second one right there, Draymond Green would have got ejected out the game. If that was J.R. Smith who did something crazy like that, would have got ejected out the game. So you look at the guys who foul a lot and do stuff like that, and Lance Stevenson get a smack on the wrist. Lance Stevenson been doing crazy stuff to LeBron James and his teammates for the last couple of years they met in the playoffs. But I thought that Lance Stevenson is going to not get suspended, but going to get tossed. The Cavaliers are going to be shooting technical free throws for that. Because anytime you go around someone's head and bring them down like that, I know he's not intent to hurt someone, but you can hurt someone like that. That was definitely a basketball play. Like I said, I like Lance Stevenson as a player, but some of the stuff that he do, I don't like. I disagree with it all the time. That's not basketball. He's trying to hurt someone on that part of the game. So these Cavaliers going back home, if you thought the Cavaliers going down 3-1 against in the first round, if you're trying to beat LeBron James in the first round, that's a tough task to do. Like they said, the Patriots team was ready for this game, but they played so tight, and it wasn't their type of basketball. But I'm going to end on this note. I'm telling you, it's coming live from the Man Cave. Head over to that Twitter and that YouTube, man. Subscribe and become a member, man. We need more people to debate me, man. If you're scared, don't be scared to debate. It's just your opinion versus mine. I'm out of here.